Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears. This is interesting, fellas. Bears are point and a half favorites in this game over the Packers. 42 is your prevailing total. Steven, we know the Packers are dealing with a couple of injuries at the wide receiver position, and that has people a little shaky on backing them in this thing, and probably rightfully so. Not a ton of depth there for this Packers squad outside of Dobbs and Watkins, which are Watkins? Yes. Yeah. What the hell?
Watson. Christian Watson.
Watson. That is both those guys dealing with some injuries. And listen, there's probably still some question marks around whether people think that Jordan Love's good or not.
I bet Packers money line early in the week, and then the injury report popped up, and you see Watson and Dobbs on there, and I don't feel good about it now. I think I bet it too early, to be honest with you. I felt like I was probably in a rush to get some plus money on the Packers because I had them rated above the Bears to start the year in my power rankings. But when we're dealing with 1 or 1.5 points each way on the line, you're not sacrificing much if you're late to it, right? Mm-hmm. And so I would have much preferred to have seen that injury report and then paid a little bit more juice on the money line potentially than where I'm at right now with a better price and not sure how close to 100% these two receivers are. Maybe it's precautionary since it's week 1, but we're recording this on late Thursday night. Most weeks we'll be recording it on Friday afternoon where we'll have a better idea of the injury reports. Mm-hmm. But as we record this right now, we don't have the Friday injury report for the Packers. So it's definitely something to monitor with Watson and Dobbs.
Adam, if we look at the Bears, they got a lot of steam in the offseason. This was some people who were thinking they're going to make a big leap. All we have to do is look at their win total. It's sitting at 7.5, and they were a 3-win team last year, right? And so they're looking to make a pretty big leap in this. They went and signed some guys on the defense side of the ball, not in the positions that you normally see people sign. It wasn't pass rushers, it was like linebackers and stuff, whatever. But look, it's more talent, and more talent is better than what they had last year. There's no doubt about that. And of course, now there's no really excuse that there's not a receiver for Justin Fields because DJ Moore is in there, and DJ Moore we know is a bona fide NFL receiver. So how do you feel overall about this Bears team, and what do you think about this 1-point spread?
Ready for my 2 most strongly held takes of the season when it comes to teams. They happen to be playing each other here in week 1.
I love it.
Okay, here we go. Let's start with the Chicago Bears. As you mentioned, all the offseason steam, right? And I can understand. You look at Justin Fields, you see the talent, you know what an otherworldly runner he can be. You then look and see, wow, 1-7 in one-score games last year, and think, well, the positive regression's got to come back to help them there. And you look and see, okay, well, the NFC North is not nearly as strong with Aaron Rodgers gone, and a Minnesota team that somehow went 11-0 in one-score games last year. And then you realize what you're doing is you're trying to make Chicago better than it is. Mm-hmm. You're trying to make this roster better than it is. You're trying to make Justin Fields a passer that he has not shown at the NFL level that he can be. You're trying to make this offensive line better than it is, and it's already beaten up a little bit. So my most strongly held take of the year, Chicago is wildly overrated. Mm-hmm. Wildly overrated. I will be taking any under that someone would like to give me on season win total. I will be taking unders on Justin Fields passing yards at just about every opportunity that I can get. I do not believe in this team at all. This game in particular this week is the biggest power rating difference that I have. I have a 3-point gap for where the market is at Chicago 1. I have this at Green Bay 2. And I'm going to do a little bit of wishing on my other strongly held take. Not as much as people are doing on Justin Fields, but just a little bit of wishing on the Green Bay Packers. I don't know if anywhere we'll still have division win totals up after the Lions played tonight, but Packers are sitting roughly 5-1 to win the North at a couple of places. If you can still get your hands on that, I like that bet quite a lot. I think the Packers are going to be much better than people expect this year. I think this is a playoff team based on how the NFC North shapes up, based on how their schedule shapes up. I don't know if Jordan Love is great, but I'm going to tell you this much. I don't think Jordan Love is terrible. And I think with the rest of this roster, with the defense in particular, this is a team that is primed in a bad NFC to be able to win 9-10 games. I don't think they're going to be elite, but I also don't think they're going to be terrible. And I think there's going to be a rush after this week to tell you how good the Lions are when they didn't really do a lot of great things against the Kansas City Chiefs tonight. And I think there's going to be a rush to try to continue to make Justin Fields better than he is. And I also believe that if this game plays out the way that it should, I'm going to say should because of health, that you would lose that opportunity to bet Green Bay full season that you were probably going to have before this game. Now, Watson is injured. Romeo Doubs is injured. David Bakhtiari is on the injury report.
Yeah.
There's too much uncertainty for me to bet Green Bay this week in particular, which I kind of hate. Now, if we get some better reports come Friday, come Saturday on Watson and on Dobbs, then I'm going to be right there with Steven on Green Bay money line.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, listen, it's a pretty good offensive line that he's going to be throwing behind. I don't think that we're like everyone just assumes Jordan Love's not good because he was a first round pick that didn't start. He was behind friggin' Aaron Rodgers. I mean, like nobody starts over Aaron Rodgers. I mean, like it's like this is they went up, they made a move because they liked what they saw. They didn't know if Aaron Rodgers was going to continue to play. Aaron Rodgers did continue to play. It just kind of is what it is, right? I mean, I this thing that like Jordan Love is obviously terrible because he had to sit is crazy to me because he sat behind Aaron Rodgers. It's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Like, I mean, it's crazy to me. I think this team, as long as those receivers aren't garbage in year two, which at times they flash good and at times they flash garbage in year one. And so as long as they're not garbage in year two, I think that they can do pretty well.
You hear a lot of narrative, Matt, about teams going from worst to first in the NFL, but very rarely do we see the worst go to first in the division following year. And the Packers had the number one pick last year. I'm sorry, the Bears.
Bears. Yeah.